To me, gender is far more than your body parts, far more than that. It's what you feel in your head. My view was, well, I'm not a man, so I must have to just live as a woman, and actually I live as partly a woman but also partly a man as well, and it's a really positive thing. I was standing waiting for a friend of mine quite near where I live, and these three lads walked past me. I remember it. They all sort of doubled back, and one of them came straight up and decided that it was a good idea to punch me in the face. As they walked away, I heard one of them say, "That's a woman." I had a black eye. I waited a week before I reported anything. I was worried that they wouldn't take it seriously. Nothing came of it at all. In fact, they told me that they couldn't see me or the incident on CCTV, and they offered for me to come in and view the CCTV, and I said that would be very difficult due to my visual disability, and they basically said, oh, okay, we'll have to leave it at that. And so I gave up in the end.
We have this idea that you just know straight away what your gender and sexuality is. And actually thinking of it more as an exploratory process can be really helpful for some people.
What do we want?
Project Indigo is a youth group for young LGBTQ people or anyone who's questioning their sexuality or gender. Mainly the group is for young people who, for some reason, aren't getting the opportunity to meet other young queer people, and they just don't really have a queer community. And the impacts of not having that community can just be so bad for your mental health.
People usually say stuff like, it's not real, or like, you're just like being greedy, wanting both. At school, when we're learning about sex, it's usually just about with a man and a woman. I feel like underappreciated and like not talked about. Being like bisexual or lesbian. I feel like sometimes, because we can't really express it, if like people don't really appreciate us, so it's easier to do it through like art.
When I first went to my secondary school, I had a boy hairstyle, and they were calling me gay, they were calling me trans. I felt like killing myself as well when they first started bullying me. But then I got used to all the comments they say. Even though it still hurts, I don't show my emotions to people. I try coping, like doing graffiti in my house or like drawing pictures. But sometimes I listen to music to try and ignore what other people say.
When I was younger, I thought like before I found a group like this that, oh, I'm like one of the only gay people, like I don't know anyone who's like this. But even when I came out fully as a lesbian, I was still like feeling quite pressured to like change. I thought, oh, I can change, let me just like go out with guys. Eventually it came to the point where it's not helping. It's making me more depressed and the situation worse.
Every Thursday, I hear that there's still problems current right now and that people need to do more. What I really didn't want the exhibition to become was, I guess, like I said, a history project. And if I could just get it to be about the now, not the history, it could make change.
This side of it is all like protest,
I met Susie, who's a youth worker here, who was like, we've got this project, like, do you want to get involved? And obviously I was just like, yeah, and then I met all the young people and everyone was just really amazing. This project's been quite heavily based on activism and why are we angry, what are we still shouting about that our families have been shouting about for years. We've been looking a lot at the Hackney archives and kind of thinking about whether anything's changed or not. We kind of started with a manifesto workshop. If we were to protest for that manifesto, what protest banners would we make? So we had a workshop of making protest banners. After that we did a quilt making workshop. And then after that we did zine making. We're focusing quite heavily on these kind of punk DIY vibes. Normally when I do workshops I want people to leave thinking that next time they wouldn't need me to be there, they could just do it themselves.
I really want people to know that there is like a joyful way to be queer. I think that gets lost a lot in how much we're having to talk about the difficulties.
In order to be a liberated queer person, I don't want to be a straight person. That's not my end goal.
The group has made me who I am today. I say to all the young LGBT community people, if you're happy, then be yourself and just ignore what people say because they ain't in your shoes.
That's where I wanna go and leave my trouble down here below. Lord, there ain't no trouble on the mountain, no, no, no. That's where I wanna go, but I just can't rest on the mountain top when there's trouble down.